Hello, this is Bob Petersen, statewide real estate in Escanaba, Michigan, and welcome to UB Sustainable Living. On this channel, we talk about buying land, selling land, rural property, and sustainable living in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. In the last few videos, we've been talking about Michigan land programs, including CFA and QFP. Today, I want to wrap this series up by talking about another tax topic that often gets confused with those programs. What many people call homestead exemption, which in Michigan is actually called principal resident exemption, or PRE. If you enjoy practical information about buying, selling, and owning land in the Upper Peninsula, be sure to subscribe and follow along. In Michigan, when people say homestead exemption, they are usually talking about the principal residence exception, or PRE. PRE applies to your principal residence, your true home. This is not the same thing as CFA and is not the same thing as QFP. A lot of landowners hear the words tax benefit and assume these programs will work the same way, but they don't. CFA is Commercial Forest Program. QFP is Management Forest Tax Program. PRE is tied to where you actually live. Even though they may all affect taxes, they are completely different programs. Another thing people sometimes assume is that PRE automatically applies if they move onto a property. But that's not how it works. The PRE fitting still has to be submitted to the local assessor. So if a property becomes your true home, make sure the pre-paperwork is actually filed. It's a simple step, but an important one. If land is currently enrolled in QFP, it does not simply convert to homestead status automatically. Usually, the QFP situation has to be addressed first. The same general idea applies with CFA. CFA land does not suddenly become homestead property just because someone wants to build a house there. The existing program has to be handled first. Then, if the property truly becomes the owner's principal residence, PRE may apply after that. This issue often comes with rural land. If someone owns a larger parcel, it may not be necessary to remove the entire property from CFA or QFP. Sometimes only the home site portion needs to be handled differently. While the rest of the land stays in the program, so the better question is often not, do I have to convert the whole property? Instead, it may be, what portion actually becomes the homestead area and what happens to the rest? Especially when a piece of property is made up of several different tax ID properties. Another common misunderstanding involves recreational property. Owning land, camping on it, or using it as a hunting property does not automatically make it a homestead. A camp or recreational parcel is not the same thing as a principal residence. PRE is tied specifically to where you actually live as your primary home. If someone owns land in CFA or QFP and is thinking about building a home, it's worth asking a few questions first. Is the land in CFA, QFP, or neither? Does the entire property need to come out of the program or only part of it? What fees, penalties, or recapture taxes might apply? Will a split or survey be needed? And when should the pre-fitting be made? Planning ahead can prevent a lot of confusion later. This also matters for sellers. A buyer may assume they can purchase a property in CFA or QFP, build a home, and immediately receive homestead tax treatment. But that may not be how the situation actually works. So it helps to explain that there are separate tax situations and buyers should verify the details rather than relying on assumptions. My practical take is this. If a property is already your true home, pre may be an important tax benefit. But if the land is currently enrolled in CFA or QFP, do not assume homestead status automatically overrides the programs. Usually the existing program has to be handled first, and the pre can be filed once the property truly qualifies as the owner's principal residence. Thanks for watching. I hope this series helps clear up some of the confusion around CFA, QFP, and homestead status on rural property here in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. If you missed the earlier videos in this series, check out the playlist on the screen. And if you're buying or selling land in the UP and want help understanding rural property issues, my contact information is in the description below. Again, this is Bob Petersen with Statewide Real Estate in Escanaba, Michigan, and this is UP Sustainable Living. And I'll see you in the next video.